Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. Mischief Toys had an instant sellout at Hot Topic, and Funko NFTs flopped again.
Collecting is the way. Now let's chat.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 89. I am your host, Migs, here with my co-host Charlie. As always, Charlie, what's up?
Doing good. I'm excited to talk. We got a lot of cool things to talk about this episode. It's a nice
Yeah,
variety.
yeah, I'm excited for today's episode. It is going to be a mixture of stuff like, in the intro I said Mischief Toys we're going to talk about. Both of us are repping our Coven hats right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube. But we're going to talk about Mischief Toys and their drop that was on Hot Topic, which is awesome. But we're going to talk about what happened, how crazy that was. Of course, we're going to talk about Funko NFTs and how they continue to, it seems like, just fail. We have a
Yeah.
new drop coming out. Will that be a good one? We'll see. We'll talk about that. And we do have some other news, some Funko related news. We have some other collectible stuff that's coming out that we're super excited for. And yeah, it's going to be a great episode in terms of, like Charlie said, talking about a bunch of different things that, we're excited about. And we could let's start off with the Mischief Toy stuff because
Let's do it.
I know that's kind of something that just recently happened. And for those of you that don't know, obviously the company Mischief Toys makes, Gastley figures, which we are huge fans of. We have been collecting them for quite some time
Yeah, for a
now.
while now.
Yeah, definitely supporting them. Heather and Chris are amazing over there. They're also part of the Gastle cast. If you don't know who they are, you can watch them on YouTube as well. So definitely check them out. I mean, I'm sure you know who they
Yeah.
are
If you
more
if
than
you
you
like
probably know
us,
who
I'm
we
sure you
are.
know that.
So, but the cool thing about this drop was this was the first time. Well, no, this is the second time they collabed with like a
Yes.
second,
But this is
cider
like,
company. Yeah, this was
a,
a
a
big
big
deal.
one.
Big deal, yeah. Because if you didn't know, they're from Maryland. They had a certain Route One
Yeah,
website,
Route
which
One
was
apparel. Yeah.
yeah, that's specifically to like Maryland, and they had a Maryland type of figure. But this time it's the big mighty Hot Topic, which
Yes.
we all know and love and hate, I'm sure. But if you're a collector, especially with Funko, I mean, for a little while, Hot Topic was like where I mostly got my
Yeah.
Funko Pops when I was starting to collect, right? So clearly, for the most part, it seems like they don't. I mean, they still sell them, but it's not as big. Their walls are not as big as it used to be with
No.
displays and stuff. So, but Chris and Heather were able to get an exclusive figure into Hot Topic, which was pretty sick because this figure, first of all, was Emo Ghastly, which I know both of us were hardcore fans of.
I think it may be one of my favorites, if not my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I really think it is. Tattooed Ghastly was probably my favorite for a little
Yeah.
bit, and
Got right
didn't
there.
last long.
No.
And because this emo Ghastly one is so sick. It's the first one with a completely different mold where it's got hair on it. So like
It's
they
got
changed it up
shoes,
a
which
lot.
is super
Yes, it
cool.
has shoes. It's got like Converse basically. So really awesome. If you're into any type of emo music or any of that kind of stuff, punk, alternative stuff, like this was perfect for you, and it was perfect for Hot Topic.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, like what do you think of it in general? Like we'll talk about what happened and everything, but like
Yeah.
I thought this was just a perfect mold to be in Hot Topic.
Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Hot Topic, like this is what they like started as before they really got into collectibles. I mean, it was like emo alternative type clothing,
Hmm.
band t-shirts. Like
Yep.
they kind of changed trajectories a little bit where they became like a collectible destination. But I mean, that being said, perfect. I mean, Emo Gasset looks like someone who would work at Hot Topic, someone who would
Yeah,
like love it. It's just
literally.
like I just I thought it was a perfect collab, and like we already have been saying, like it's one of their best molds, and it's super cool. And I kind of want them now to just continue weirdly making music genres. So before this, we had black metal.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone in like the Mischief Toys group like made a drawing of like a punk one,
Yep.
which would be super cool.
Yeah,
But
with a
yeah, like
mohawk.
yeah, the mock was super cool. But yeah, I thought this one was amazing and couldn't have been a better place to have it at.
Yeah, it was perfect for like the mold was perfect. It was perfect to do it at, Hot Topic. Now, perfect in the sense of like it made sense to be there, but
Yes.
clearly it was not the best, it
No.
wasn't executed perfectly, especially with why Hot Topic just completely kind of shit the bed. So if those of you that don't know, anytime Hot Topic has drops or like exclusives, even with Funko, like,
Yep.
specifically, they're always a mess. They really never were the most reliable, like on time. They would drop things early, overnight. It was all like this isn't
Yeah,
like a
all over the
surprise. Like it's
place.
happened with other, products,
Yes.
definitely Funko related, let's say, right? So with this specific figure, this was on Friday last week, and this was technically Thursday night. Technically, it was,
Yeah.
I believe, supposed to drop Friday during the day
Friday
originally. That was
afternoon,
like, yeah, the conversation or the terms that they had. Unfortunately, like I think in their live, they said nothing of this was like legally in contract, which that
which
kind of sucks
stinks.
because they were able
Yeah.
to kind of do whatever the hell they wanted. And they basically dropped this thing at like midnight out of nowhere randomly. You couldn't even check out properly. You had to do kind of like a workaround, but people figured it out, which is insane that they were even on there and
Yeah, that
figured it out.
wish list like freaking hack
Yeah,
that they
which I've
have
seen
is
that
so
before.
annoying.
It was such a chaotic mess, and it sucks for them because they were really excited for this drop, and I mean we were really excited for this drop, but
Yeah.
like to wake up in the morning to hear like, oh, it dropped overnight and they're gone
I thought we were
because they basically
screwed.
pulled it, right? Yeah, and I was like, dude, there's no way this was like the one I wanted, like the most. We knew that they were gonna split some on the site and some through Mischief Toys specifically. I didn't know the breakdown or how that was gonna go,
Yeah.
but I really wanted this one because one, it had the sticker on it, it said Hot Topic exclusive, which is also cool because they don't have anything like that yet.
Agreed.
And come to find out, it was a mess. And then in the morning, we hear that it's popping up again. And that's when I was able to run on, I actually, grab one. And then I think right after that, you were able to get on and
Yeah.
grab one. But it was still so like I was so worried I wasn't gonna get it. Like, I mean, we still technically don't
We
have it
thought it was,
yet,
I
but
mean, I thought it was going to
yeah,
be canceled. There have been there
yes,
was even rumors going around that people were thinking they would get canceled. Clearly they didn't because then they started, because we feel like we got the second wave of Hot Topic that we and you have kind of
yeah,
been saying. People got them at like the midnight and then we got it the next day. Luckily they finally did ship and we don't have them in our hands yet, but at least it happened. I mean, we were
yeah,
joking like we're not going to get this figure. We're not going to get this figure. And it's like the coolest
yeah.
figure ever.
It sucked because I was just like, because then, they kind of rushed and decided to drop theirs immediately
Yeah.
after, essentially on Friday, on their site, like Friday evening. And it was up for a little bit because obviously some people bought it through Hot Topic, but they had like a pin bundle. There was a little bit of a chaotic like mix up there, but I didn't want to I wanted to. I was so close, but I was like, I really just wanted to hope that
Same.
this one on Hot Topic goes through, but I was still worried. And then for a little, like I think today was when we finally got an email saying
Yeah.
it's on its way to ship. So I'm like, thank God, because we would have missed the
We wouldn't have
original,
gotten it.
the actual Mischief drop, right? Yeah, and it would have sucked. But props to them for doing this and at least getting it out there. Now I know they have a sour taste in their mouth with the Hot Topic, so unfortunately, I don't know if they'll be able to ever do another little collab. I would love for them to if this can get fixed because I think it would be a perfect avenue for them. And it
Agreed.
shows you like, look at how this thing sold. And I mean, let's put it this way, dish trackers,
That's what I was about to say.
who we all know and love, and obviously is a massive page, uh, which is funny because this guy buys everything,
Yeah.
every single item from Funko specifically, and has other stuff, but everything from Funko. And this was actually his first ever Gastley through Mischief Toys. And I wonder if it's because it was through Hot
I,
Topic and like
I do actually.
something. Yeah,
So
it has to be, right?
it's like
And
this
also, he already has it in freaking hand, which
hand,
is
I know.
another ridiculous
But that
thing.
I feel like is the silver lining for this because I know Chris and Heather were upset that the whole point of the Hot Topic thing was like a marketing play. They were gonna push it on social. We got the email about it, like stayed up on the website, and then they took the image off immediately. But someone like Dish Trackers now, he just posted that he bought one. And I mean, you're not getting better marketing than that, in my opinion, in the collectible world.
Oh yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
follows him.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, like we said, Mischief Toys is pretty big.
Yeah,
We definitely know that a lot of people know, but like there's still a small fish in an enormous pond. So they know that they're not Funko, let's say, right? And Dish Trackers is like 95% Funko that they post. Now, the amount of people, like actually, I think I have this page up because I was looking at stuff. He's got 184,000 followers. So clearly they have an enormous following. So the fact that they posted this, guys, if someone had no idea what this is, they're going to be like, "What the hell is that? Where did you get this?"
yeah,
Like obviously we all know what it is, and we all follow Dish Trackers, but there's definitely going to be some people that are going to come over. I'm sure it was sick having it on the website. Like if someone happened to see it, it ended up getting like pulled down, which is kind of stupid. I wish it
I
was still
know.
there and just said sold out
Not
because that
only
would have
that,
helped them.
one thing that I thought was ridiculous about it, that they kept the image with all of those collectibles in it. They just like digitally took out the Gastley.
Yeah, it wasn't like the whole picture changed. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was so
I thought
stupid.
that
I
was
mean, I
so
don't know what's going on
ridiculous. I
with
know.
Hot Topic, man. Maybe they shouldn't work with them anymore, but whatever. I mean, I just love this figure and I can't wait to get it, in my hands. I'm very excited for it. The merch looks sick too. They're gonna have some cool t-shirts as well. But yeah, we're very excited for that. So that was definitely one of the best drops that happened over, this past week that we were super hyped about. Definitely check them out. If you don't know, for whatever reason, mischieftoys.com, or check them out at Gastelcast as well on YouTube, Instagram, that kind of stuff. So we'll move on from them, but I'm very excited because I can't wait to see what that looks like in person. Like, it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh
Definitely gonna be posting pictures of that one. Like that one, it's just so sick. I can't wait to have it in person.
yeah, absolutely. But let's get into our next topic. So we want to talk NFTs. We love talking about them. They've been very controversial. They've been a big chunk of our channel for a while. Charlie loves ripping them and opening up videos with his son Chip. So we got a drop recently. This was last week, and I kind of made a little prediction, or
Mhm.
like I said, like I didn't think this thing was gonna sell out. Um, I mostly said it because the quantity, which is the majority of what people are probably saying out there. It's just like they're coming out
Way too much.
60,000 packs. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's just way too many. None of the drops that have been anywhere upwards of those numbers have ever sold out. So it's like, why continue to do that? Now I get it. You get it out there. It makes it easier for someone to go on. You don't have to like rush, but it kind of loses its luster, and like people don't get as excited when that's the case,
No,
and you end up burning tons of packs. So this drop was another fail, another flop, in my opinion, because even being Harry Potter, which is an enormous fan base and an enormous IP to have, which we thought would have been amazing from the beginning when we were like, what should be NFTs? And we are like, oh, if they have all this WB stuff, Harry Potter's got to be coming, right? That would be amazing. But this was back when the hype of NFTs was so
was so
big, and it
high.
it was like they waited too, I don't know, maybe they didn't
No,
have a choice, but it essentially waited too long to drop this. Now it comes out in the middle of like NFT protests, like let's go against NFTs,
yeah,
and
boycott it though.
yeah,
Like,
boycott, that's the word. The NFT boycott that's going on, and it happened to be when they dropped this. Now people clearly still got them. I know you got some packs. There's some
yeah,
other people that we saw that got tons of packs, and like that was like it's still sold, but nowhere near what it should. And ultimately, I just think it's like it's a mess. Like, yeah, now we had this thing that we talked about last episode where they're changing a lot of stuff and they're gonna make things better, and like they're deciding. I don't even know if we talked about it actually. I think that dropped
no, we
after,
didn't
right?
actually.
It's so
Yeah,
funny now that I'm talking about it. But essentially, like, check it out on Instagram. You'll see more details of it. But essentially, they did kind of come out and say they're gonna fix the shipping. You're gonna be able to get a pop protector
yeah,
potentially, like a lot of stuff that we predicted, they basically came out and said. It seems like it's a little too late. And even so, like we haven't seen it in action. So I don't know if
yeah.
that's like going to get people more excited to buy NFTs, because it did not get more people excited to buy these specifically. And I don't know, like, do you think it was totally the quantity? Like, I honestly think it's a kind of a mix of things. I do think the quantity is the biggest thing. I think there still are people boycotting and just never going to buy them again, or they still have a sour taste that they're not going to for a little while until things get changed. And I don't know. I think that's it. Because I mean, I don't think it's that people just hate Harry Potter. Now, then again, Harry
No,
Potter is very, 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 very saturated in the Funko space, if we're going to be honest.
it is.
But but it still sells. But then again, you do see a lot of Harry Potter stuff sitting around. So I don't know if it's a mix of that, but I don't
It's
know. What do you
also
think?
it's weirdly it's controversial Harry Potter now too. I mean, there's a lot of hardcore fans
Yeah.
that don't. I mean, we don't need to talk about this on the podcast, but like that's another thing. Like Harry Potter stuff just doesn't sell the way it used to. There's hardcore fans who still don't want to support it.
Mhm.
I don't think that really played a toll into this, but I agree with you. It's a mixture of one, the NFTs, some collectors are sour on them, and yeah, way too many. Like they need to be done with that. Like I get why they want to do it to make more money, which we've talked about, so many times. But what's better? Like if it's sold out and if it was like half that quantity, people would be talking about like we got to sell out again, and
Mhm.
like they still would have made a lot of money for not much work. I mean,
Yeah, they
I
get more
know
people on board and excited, like,
exactly.
okay, cool, this is going to be fun again, that kind of thing.
Like I know they've never really come out and said this, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say they're making these digital um pieces of art on the blockchain. It's not costing them a ton of money. And regardless of how many acts there were, the relatively, it's always the same number about physicals. So
Yeah,
it's not like that's like gonna break the bank for them either. So yeah, this was also, like you said, way too late. Harry Potter should have been one of the original ones in the WB contract. I doubt they didn't have the rights to do it, but maybe they didn't. I feel like they were waiting for NFTs to become more popular, which weirdly enough, they were more popular when they were limited and like not as many people were in it, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I don't. It just it's going to be. I don't know. It's a
If
weird
this
one to
next
like.
one doesn't sell out, I don't really think we're gonna get many more sellouts ever, unless it's like strictly Freddy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about what the drop is and kind of why we think it probably should sell out. But yeah, I totally agree. Like the next drop, if it's another flop again, like that is messy for this stuff because it's like, what are they doing? And like maybe they look at success differently. Like maybe they don't care
Yep.
about selling out. Maybe they do just care about the quantities that are being sold and then the aftermarket because they probably get a piece of it and then stuff on their marketplace. And, maybe they're profiting no matter what. And they're like, you know what, people still buy this crap, like whatever. And they figure that's what's happening. But ultimately, I think they could be like a better product if they fix these problems, which now they're saying they're doing.
They're
So
saying they
clearly
are.
they clearly know those were problems, A. And B, they've heard from the community, whether it's specifically from channels like us and Gasolcast and other people that talk about it all the time, or just people emailing them, I'm sure, up the wazoo on like issues that they have. Clearly they know about it. So that means that hopefully they know they need to change and they know that that's what they got to do, not just bombard us with stuff. But the drops have just been so weird. They're just way too many packs and these drops. And like it's one thing to have like a lot of packs that like take a little bit to sell out because it just gave people more chances to buy them versus having such a limited amount that you had to be on there. Dude, packs used to be 20 minutes. That's drops were 20
And was
minutes
it done? I
and
was
they were
just
sold
about to
out.
say that. And like
20 minutes,
we
bro.
get upset sometimes when we didn't get packs, but like I wish it was that way again.
Yeah, we would get upset, but we would still want to get the next drop.
Yeah, now
It
it's just
wasn't that we would
like
get upset and be like, "Oh, I'm never going to buy it because they're so hard to get." No, it was never that type of a thing.
no,
It was
no,
always the, "Damn, I wish I had it."
exactly. It kind
And
of gave you a little bit more of like a adrenaline rush for it.
yeah, dude. So I had no interest in this drop specifically myself. So the Harry Potter one, like, I just wasn't as big of a fan. Or like, yeah, I like Harry Potter, but I wasn't as big of a fan, and I just didn't want to go after it. So I knew you were getting a couple packs, and you were saying like, oh, there's actually a little bit of weight, and it seemed like that was kind of something that was like
It
made
was
up
weird.
because everyone
Yeah.
saw that little weight, and then you got in,
Yes.
and like about 20 minutes in, 25, whatever. Not even. It was like right in the beginning. It was like when you said that, it was like maybe 10 minutes in. I was like, oh, let me just log on. Oh, maybe there's gonna be a wait. I logged on and it instantly went in. It wasn't even a wait. It literally like went right in. So I'm like, clearly they're just it's not. It's just
It's
letting
not
people
real.
buy them like on the
Yeah.
regular. Did they lift the thing to $120? Was that this
Yeah.
drop?
Which is the first time they've ever done that.
Yeah, so that was another
Which
thing they
quite
did.
frankly, they should just be
Maximum.
doing that in general, like going forward.
I mean, yeah, it should, but it looked like a sad, like,
Well, look sad
like,
this way.
like the
Yeah.
way where it's like, oh my God, we're not selling these out. Guess what, guys? You could now spend $120 instead of $60 in your one time that you're gonna get in because God forbid you get in with $60 and guess what? You're gonna get right back in again for another $60.
Yeah.
Let's just put it as 120. Like it was
No,
just
you're
not.
completely right. I mean, it was
Yeah.
embarrassing. The whole,
It,
yeah.
it was awful. I mean, overall, I don't think many people were super excited about this drop as much as I thought they would be. Um, so yeah, it's just going to be a mess. But this next one, so talk about kind of like what's going to be coming. So the new drop that's going to be releasing on the 6th, so February 6th, next Tuesday's drop. This is going to be a fantastic plastic series, and it's actually series two of this like wave, this line, this
Yeah.
type. It's a very small niche specific like one. This is obviously a Funko
Yeah.
specific like brand and everything. So it's not like this huge, IP they're using or anything. There's only 15,000 standard packs and 15,000 premium packs. Now, this kind of takes you back to the beginning of the Funko drops. Like there was
Yes.
some that would be around this range, maybe 20. Now we're looking at like 35 and stuff. It's like it's insane now. But we have four total redeemables. There's only two legendaries, one grail, and a royalty. That's
Yeah,
another
which is
thing. So
I
this,
love that.
or yeah, it reminds me of like the Jay and Silent Bob drop, like very
April
small.
Fools was this way.
April Fools, yep. So we have like a character called Carl. We have Juan Calavera. The Grail is Sugar Bomb. And then of course the royalty is a Freddy, and it's Freddy Funko as what's that like Moon something? I don't know what is his name?
Amazing Carlos.
Amazing Carlos. And he looks like basically like a Evil Knievel
Yeah.
type of like character type of thing. His tongue out looks pretty cool. So that mode looks awesome. It's glow in the dark, so that's pretty cool. It's the only one that's glowing in the dark, so I like
Which
that. So
they've
like they
been
did
doing
the
that
whole
now
set.
too, trying to add a little je ne
Hmm.
sais to these pops.
Yeah, and I mean it's cool. These are cool molds. These are great characters. They've made these obviously in the Fantastic Plastic world already, so it's like cool to see them in like a Funko NFT world, like a pop world. So great. It's very very niche. It's not going to be something like that's what I'm afraid of is that like it's too like niche that people are just going to kind of be like, what the hell is this? If you don't really know it, you're not a hardcore fan of this and Funko, then you may not go for it. But the drop is such a small limited quantity that like this should sell out.
Yes.
And I think it's unique and it's cool. And this is what NFTs should be. Like, that's why some of the Freddy drops are my favorites because it's not just some mass produced huge IP. Because even if we get the likes of Marvel and, we finally start getting Marvel NFTs and stuff like that, I almost feel like that's going to just be like another 60,000 pack
Agreed.
drop. That's just not
Too
going to
late.
sell, even though it's so popular because, yeah, it's just not going to work. So this is what they need to start doing. So I definitely do like the drop. I don't know what you think. I think you agree.
Yeah,
But
I think
what are
this
your thoughts on like, do you think it's going to sell or?
I think this drop's incredible, actually. This is exactly what they need to be doing. The one thing I am a little nervous about, I do think this is gonna sell out. I do think it's because of the lower number. There are a lot of people I've seen on the internet who like just don't get it, which
Mhm.
they're clearly then like not as Funko purists. So that is my only hesitation to it. Like if they made up like if all of these, for example, were Freddy as like fantastic plastic characters, and this would be like an instant sellout.
Yeah.
Um, but I do feel like these are going to be in people's minds maybe more limited, and they will hold a piece of Funko type history if you're into that, which like I am. So I'm torn on this one actually, but I want to say it's going to sell out. But if it doesn't sell out, they're in trouble with this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it goes for a little bit and, maybe they burn a few, like a couple thousand or something, like, I don't think it like hurts them as much, but like, if you see this thing only selling like 8 to 9 thousand packs each or something like that, and then they burn after 4 hours or something again, and it's like then it's kind of like yeesh, like either it was just way too niche or like it just did not hit for these type of collectors, or people just really are not buying it Funko NFTs anymore,
Yeah,
and
because I
like it
mean,
could I don't know. Like, because I think we need to have a big name with a limited number drop to really know what's
agreed.
going on in
Like if
this
Marvel or Star Wars
buyer's
came
market
out and it was really limited,
and
yeah,
didn't sell.
then
Yeah.
they might as well just stop this.
So true.
Because I mean, people are still begging for those, and it's just funny because like as a Marvel collector, even now, I've gotten a little sour on the Marvel collecting.
It's
Like
too much.
they needed to make the Marvel NFTs like I know they did not have the rights to do it, but that should have been like a gateway into NFTs. Now it's going to be way too late. I feel that way for that in Star Wars because, like you said, they're just going to do the 30, maybe even 40,000 per, like, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It's gonna be kind of chaotic. But let us know what you guys think. in
Yeah.
terms of, the NFT world, like what's going on right now. Are you excited for this drop? Or is it too niche for you, or you think you're gonna go after there? Definitely comment if you're on YouTube what you guys think about this drop, and what do you think about the future of NFTs? Like what's coming next? What's the next drop? Like, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But we'll switch it over into some news stuff. So we do want to talk about a couple drops and some things that are going to be coming out. Some Funko, some other brands that we're kind of excited for, or that we thought looked pretty cool. One of them I did want to start off with, because we talked about it a lot last week, is we have more Biddy Pops.
It
So
is.
I guess Biddy is the future, like I said in that last
It
the last
is.
episode's thumbnail that we had, because they really are pumping these out. I mean, I don't see like a reason why they shouldn't. Like they're tiny, like they can make
Yeah.
so many of these. I'm sure they're way cheaper to make. So I'm sure they're not losing much, even if they don't really necessarily sell as hot as maybe some people think, but I don't think they do. But we got a WWE one. Yeah. So WWE is pretty cool, because obviously that's a big, massive license for Funko. They have tons of, wrestling pops, a lot of different versions and moments and deluxe and, different sizes and stuff. So now we're getting bitty ones, which is an interesting set that we have. I believe majority of these look like they're all pops that do exist.
Yeah.
We're
I
just
don't think
getting
it's
them in
anything
like,
new.
yeah, the tiny bitty form, nothing crazy. Obviously, they're gonna have four boxes with four different sets, and then you can also get four different like mystery ones. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that. You think that's like a smart of them for doing this, or I mean, like the mystery ones are pretty cool, like the ones that you can pull. They're
Yeah.
actually
I
like
mean,
pretty
I
awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming they're gonna come out with like a ring or something to have as a display.
which that would be pretty cool. I mean, I'm on the fence with these. I mean, kids do like wrestling because like I've been saying how I think they really need to get the kid range more into this. Also, though, it's kind of weird. WWE is not in a good place right now. It's kind of funny that they
Yeah.
dropped these just like they did the same time when they dropped the Loki pops with Jonathan Majors. They just
Yeah.
they don't know. No one's looking at the entertainment news. But
No, no.
I have been as a fan, as we all know, of Biddy Pops. I keep thinking more and more though. Like when I see this, like this, I think this format should go away though. Um, I don't think we should be getting the four in the pack. I think they should go strictly to mystery and like call it a day. And I actually think they do way better.
Just one individual one as a
One
mystery.
individual one. And I know they have those and like the Five and Belows of the world or like Party Cities, but I think I don't think people are buying those because you can just buy this and you're guaranteed to know the four you're getting when they're the exact same ones in the mystery pack. That's where those are dumb in my opinion.
Yeah, and that term of like getting them to rebuy is definitely a dumb thing. We talked about that. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
definitely like a big reason. But this kind of two things. One, that they're still doing this type of sets,
Yep.
and that is WWE, kind of puts it back in my list of that these bitty pops are not meant for kids. I don't think they made them thinking they wanted them to be for kids. That's just my opinion. But I still think they think these are for collectors.
But I will tell you, it's weird to think
That
this,
obviously
but
kids could be collectors, but
no, but the biggest demographic that watches WWE is kids.
oh yeah, no, I know there's young kids. I'm just saying WWE was like kind of obviously it's kid. I mean,
No,
kids
but I
and
get, I
freaking
get, I get what
90-year-olds
you're
watch it. Like
saying.
it's a
I get what you're
crazy
saying.
range. But to me, it's still like this is like marketed and shown not as a toy, if that makes sense.
No,
That's kind of what,
100%. That
yeah.
you're right about. So
Like, can
with
a
that
kid
being
be a
said,
collector? Yeah, of course, 100%. But for the most part, kids buying toys and like the little mystery grab bag type of things, to them, they're little toys. They're now
no,
again,
you're right. You're right
your
about that.
son and my daughter, like they're different, because if we're hardcore collectors, they see what collecting is, they might start getting into collecting. Your
Yes.
average, random child, probably not. Uh, but I mean, because they're small, obviously they might go towards this and be like, "Oh, that'd be cool, whatever." But yeah, I'm still like so like I don't know. I don't know what's up with this damn biddy line. Like I mean, we're still getting more waves, so I mean, who
What's funny?
knows?
I have a
but
question about
I don't think it's going away. It just
no, but biggie question for you. As someone who bought the Batman ones, will you buy that Batman stand or no? No interest.
no,
Okay.
no, just because, dude, if I showed you where my Bitty Pops were right now,
Okay.
you would you would crack up. And it's not like they're just in a shelf or thrown away
Yep.
because that would be even funnier. But so I have currently, you can't see, but I have to the side of me my shelf display that had all my out of box pops.
Yep.
And then below that, I essentially have stacked pops, like stacked up some 10-inch pops, a couple other boxes, and then all my die casts are stacked there. Then above them, it's like Gastleys are stacked. They're literally stacked about 3 to 4 rows forward and like kind of Legoed out to be like in front of this wall. Behind majority of my dumpster fires and in front of the diecast where you literally cannot see, but in a little amount of space is where the biddies are stacked right now.
Okay.
And it's my Batman ones. I only have two sets. I think it was Batman and Princess, I think I had
Okay.
gotten. Um,
So
yeah,
you threw them in the dumpster trash. This is essentially
essentially.
what you're
Yeah, they're
saying.
literally behind a dumpster. Literally. Behind a couple dumpsters.
That's
And in
amazing.
front of diecast, which some people would say is dumpsters as well. But yeah, I don't know. So interesting. Let us know what you guys think of biddies. Like I said, I don't I'm not like blinded by it. Like I know people like it and it's out there. It's just not necessarily for me. Like I wanted to see them, try them out, and that's why I got those first couple. But it wasn't something that stuck with me. I was surprised that it's continuing on, and now we're getting all these displays and all these other things. But if it sells, it sells. And let us know if you guys are fans of those. But yeah, that was one thing that stuck out to me because I know we just talked about it, and it's like, well, we're coming out with more biddies, which was pretty interesting. But yeah,
The gift that keeps on giving. Um, the another thing they announced, which is trash in my opinion, is the new Harley Quinn pops.
yeah.
And it like okay, we don't need any more Harley Quinn pops. There's way too many variants. I kid you not. In Marshalls and like TJ Maxx's around the holiday time, every single one by me, and we go to them a lot, had a ton of Harley Quinn pops. They can't give them away. It was like the one that no one was even trying to buy. I think they clearanced them out to like $3, and people still don't want them.
It's so funny because like I see them and I like the character and I like the other
Yeah,
character that
I do
I'm
too.
about to say even more, but I see them like the female Deadpool in the Funko world where they just make
You're right. They
way
did,
too
which is
many. And because their thing is just making it with a bunch of different
yeah.
funny things or whatever. And it's just like,
I mean, that's a good comparison. It's just if it fits Deadpool, where like I feel like they want it, like you said, to fit Harley Quinn, but it just doesn't really, in my opinion.
yeah, no, it doesn't. I think it's falling flat on that. And it's just like they're trying to put something out like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, there's Harley Quinn fans out there. I see under a lot of the posts, people being like, "Oh my God, these are amazing! Oh, that's great!" Every time there is some, I just don't think there's enough of those fans out there for them to continue to be dropping these. But like you said, they're sitting around, so it's clearly not necessarily selling the best. We have another pretty cool little set here. So this is a Mirabelle Top Town, which is going to be with her in the casita, which of course is from Encanto. So if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. It's an amazing Disney movie, and the casita's cool. It looks nice. I mean, I would be more excited for this if my daughter didn't already have like the actual size casita and other like Lego sets and stuff that had to do with this, because this would be totally something she would like and it's really cool. But it's like about time. Like this is something they should have done, I feel like, a lot sooner because it's like perfect. Like obviously the house was such a big deal
The
in that movie.
character, yeah,
Exactly. So like they should have done that. But even the pop itself is great because it's a new one and she's got like a little basket with like little those like wind things that blow, like little flower type paper made things, and like a bunch of cool stuff on there. So it's a new mold, so it's definitely something that looks pretty cool and it's different. And yeah, this is pretty cool in the sense of like if you're a hardcore fan, like it'll probably sell. Pop towns, unfortunately, like don't seem to be like super, super popular because of the size probably and stuff, and not for everyone, but they do a great job when they make
agreed.
them. It's just one of those things that like they can't overdo because otherwise it's just gonna sit around and no one will buy them because they're Price point's obviously a little bit higher, they're a little bit bigger, so if you don't have storage space for them. So, but I don't know what do you think about it. I think it's overall it's definitely pretty cool pop.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you. Like, I love the pop. Like, it's perfect for Pop Town, like you said. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, like the house is quote unquote one of the main characters. Um, my problem with this one is, as we've been saying, even a theme of this episode, a little too late. I think this should have been made. One, this should have been in the Disney 100 line if you had to wait that long. But when they first came out with a
That's
wave
true.
of Encanto pops, like this should have been one of them. Solely because of how, like, I don't want to repeat ourselves, but like the house is like a character. It's not like they're just making a pop town. It is so vital to the story that it would have been like, to me, if I was one of the artists making Funko Pops, be like, we should be making this as a pop town,
Yeah.
like a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a perfect one that if you get this and you have the other sets, like you can display it with all of them all
It
around
was
the house.
so cool.
Like you can't necessarily do that with all the other towns. Like sometimes they're very fit to one or two characters. Like there's just so many
Exactly.
different characters that would be perfect with it.
Um, but yeah, overall cool pop. Another one which I'm excited to see, but it's also, in my opinion, I wish they made this years ago. Finally getting Barcelona pops.
Mm,
So into the soccer line, but not that they're still not a huge team, but like it would have been cool to have a Messi one. And like they're still a huge team internationally, but like people, at least in America, I definitely don't, I feel like, follow them as much as they used to because Messi's no longer
yeah.
on that team. And as we all know, I mean, Funko Pops, I know they're international, but they're huge in America. And I just think this is a little too late to get this license, unfortunately. I would have really, I feel like though they should be getting more EPL teams, because they don't even make all the main ones of that. And I mean, that is the premier. As a
That,
soccer fan, like the biggest league. They don't make enough of those.
yeah. And what I was gonna say, what's interesting is like it's clearly like a I don't know if it's like a hard license or something that they just don't get because these pops drop so sporadically, like
Yeah,
spread out, like randomly. They'll have Liverpool, right? Like they randomly get a set, and then you know that they have it because then they drop a few of the players from that team. But clearly, they don't have like the whole league where they can just because otherwise we would see these coming out like the baseballs and the basketballs and the footballs and
yeah,
stuff of the world where you're getting them more often, and we're not. And so, like with sports teams we get that situation where, and they do this even with major American sports, they drop a pop for a football player or something who might not be on that team anymore. And it's like
yeah,
too late already, right? Because obviously their timings aren't always off because clearly these people aren't, those are like one in a million players that stay on the team for their whole career. That doesn't really happen anymore.
yeah.
And even in soccer, like it's clearly these people are changing a lot. And yeah, Barcelona was a huge, massive team like for years, like that you would always think of. And there was plenty of players that like would have been awesome to see them in those in there, but
Yeah.
they're clearly that's years ago. They don't play for them anymore. So now they got to drop more of a new and like to be honest, like I don't even recognize many of these people myself. Now, obviously, I'm not like a hardcore fan of watching to know like who some of these newer people are. But I mean, I'm sure if you're a fan of them, clearly the soccer's worldwide. Like fans
Yeah.
in Europe and stuff, I'm sure are going to be still getting these if they're completionists of football teams or if they like, Barcelona specifically. But yeah, it is a little weird, like timing wise, but it's got to be something to do with how they get these like licenses up to drop.
It must be. And one thing that I is probably hard too is like for people who aren't soccer fans, like especially, I mean, no, they've even copied this now in the MLS. Like sponsors are huge on kits, like on the jerseys. Like now American sports have been copying it, but soccer has had the basically plaster across the shirt, their
Oh yeah, yeah.
sponsor all the time. They're not on any of the Funko Pops that
Yeah.
they
I
made.
mean, that's multiple licenses, I'm sure at that point. So maybe that's
Yes.
kind of what ties
I
up some of
wonder if
these
that's
sometimes.
part of it. Um,
Could be.
I don't know. I wish they made more of them, even like not to get on the sports topic, but like if it's not basketball, football, and now even I guess baseball, like and they don't show NHL enough love. Like they're huge as a big hockey fan, there's huge players who like don't have Funko Pops. And I'm just like, what? And I actually feel like the collector, I mean, we're kind of, if I don't want to quote unquote make stereotypes, but a lot of people are into the stuff. Me and Migs aren't necessarily always huge sports fans. We just happen to be huge sports fans and like a lot of nerdy stuff. I do feel like a lot of people who don't love sports who are kind of nerds, they like soccer and hockey, which is I've always found interesting. I think they should be making more collectibles of those. I just do. I think people would buy them.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my
The
rant.
sport, yeah, sports thing. We had a whole episode on it.
I
Like
know.
it's the one line that's just like so confusing sometimes with like why they don't have something or someone, and then like why would they bring this other person out? Like it's just so weird that they make pops that we don't think they should, and they definitely don't make some that we definitely think they should. Uh, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. But another thing it's interesting for Funko is they are still continuing on. I don't know why this still exists, but the Marvel Collector Core boxes are still out there. We're still getting more. We just got the first like kind of leaked photos and showing of the latest box, which was we did announce this like so
A
long ago. And
while
I feel like
ago.
that I feel like the drops, that's one thing too. Like even though like I feel like they shouldn't even be making them, the fact is that when they do make them, they're like so spread out. It's like only a couple a year now. They used to be like every 2 months. We're getting Spider-Man Blue. So yeah, we talked about it a while ago. We finally got to see this. This is like a very specific like comic. We have a Spider-Man character that's in blue. We got a Gwen Stacy. Like they're in like a blue tint. So I'm assuming the whole artwork of the
Yeah.
comic is like that or something. We got a t-shirt, like the most stuff you get with this, like stickers and all that kind of stuff. But like the main reason why I was bringing it up is like two things. Is one, like why they're still making these boxes because they really just have not been what they used to be. And even for a while now, the first
Yeah.
few runs were so great. They had some awesome exclusive pops that like were really cool and like awesome that you could only get them in that box. And then now we started getting like pops that just were not good anymore, or like they just I don't know, it didn't really make sense.
Yeah, they
And
mass produced it like they did everything.
they also changed from where they used to be sold specifically through their own like site to the Amazons. And
Yep.
Amazon's obviously just a massive, wholesaler of these things. They're just putting them out there. So that probably affected some of this. But yeah, I just think it's kind of weird. I don't know what you think about this drop specifically, but then another interesting thing is that you always get like a little card in there, like this is coming soon
Yeah,
for
I
the
want to talk
next
about that.
box. And the next box that was announced, spoiler if you want to know, but their theme is going to be the new Captain America movie,
Brave New World.
Brave New World. That's what it's called. Yeah. So this is, of course, going to be the one that was rumored with, of course, Falcon as new Captain America. So basically his own like standalone movie, new one. Uh, and yeah, there's obviously some controversy behind that because of what's going on with the movie and if it is even good, like who knows? But it's just weird that that's one what they chose for this box and that like it's being announced now because that's not like that movie's out
Dude,
or even coming out
no.
soon.
'Cause- Yeah, because that movie was supposed to probably come out relatively soon, but tons of reshoots, changing it, it didn't test well, yada yada. They're basically making a new movie. It doesn't come out for over a year, end of February 2025.
Jeez.
Like the fact that I think this is like the worst that this has ever happened with Funko Pops, especially not in the pandemic era. Like I know we had gotten Spider-Verse box like way before the movie was
Hmm.
coming out because it was delayed, but I don't think it was like over a year. Like
No,
this is
it's
bad.
months. Yeah.
Like this is it's just very weird because it's not going to align with like the hype of the movie. And for all you know, like we were kind of chatting about this before, the the molds are probably safe for characters that are still in this movie or their look, but like it could be different and they may not even be in the movie. Like it's weird to get these a year in advance is basically the moral of the story.
Yeah. It just says coming soon. So obviously we don't know what, but like I said, these have been dropping so like
It's
the
always
range has
it's
been
I think it's
so
every other
far.
month.
But didn't we talk about the Spider-Man Blue like longer than a month or two ago?
Well, the problem
Like
is they're giving
had to
you
have been.
the yeah, but here's the problem. So the box that's shipping right now is the one before Spider-Man. That's just shipping, I believe. Or Spider-Man
Which is
coming out
what?
like right now. It was did like the a Disney Plus
Because
one.
like Distractors has the box, for instance. The Spider-Man Blue box.
Oh, he already has it, so then that is the one that's
Yeah.
shipped then. Never mind, I take that back.
Yeah.
We did talk
And that's
about it a
why
while ago,
it was,
but
to me, it was a while ago. I don't think it's still on the 2 month trend. Like, I think it's spread out a little bit more because even if you think about like within the last year, like how many boxes came out? I don't think 6 boxes came out.
yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe
Like,
it's
I mean, we
quarterly.
got to
Maybe it's
like,
quarterly, and I just don't
yeah,
remember.
maybe we switched to quarter. It wasn't that in the beginning, but maybe that's what it is now. Like, check us on that if you guys know, like, but
It
um,
ships in March,
which one?
the Captain America one.
March
Yep.
this year?
Yeah.
No way.
I
That
think
is weird.
we may have gotten a wave of the
Oh yeah,
Spider one may
ships in
have
March.
leaked a little sooner than usual. It may have leaked before the new
Yeah,
box came
people are
out.
like, "Is there even a release date for the movie? Is it even coming out this year?" That is crazy. I mean, like you said, it obviously would have to be like a non definitely a non-spoiler type, just a
Yeah.
Falcon, maybe like regular, and another random character that you know for sure is going to be in the movie. But yeah, like even people are saying like if they really wanted to come out with stuff, they could have come out with an Echo box or another What If season because that's
Yeah.
like out, like things like that, which makes way more sense than freaking this movie, which is nowhere
The
near
problem
coming
is
out.
this would have
But
been in line, but it's not. And there should be someone's
scrap
job
it.
who's, or just hold it. I mean, they have huge
Yeah.
warehouses. We know that. Like, and then it'll be ready and they won't need to complain that there'd be any delays if the product doesn't come in time. It's ready to go.
What a
Like,
mess. It's a
it's a
mess.
mess. It's a mess.
Amazon's got to get it out there quick. It's all
I,
their thing.
I
Can't
mean,
hold
quite
on to it.
frankly, you kind of alluded to this in the beginning. Like, this should just be done.
Yeah,
And
I just don't think this is
part of
what you.
me is saying to myself, maybe it is done, and that's why they're just releasing this one. Like they know
That
it's
was
only gonna
messy.
last for X amount of time. They have this product, they're gonna release it because
Yeah.
they know within a year's time it's no longer, because it does make sense. That does seem like something Funko would cut in their
Yeah.
new alignment.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it was not doing well. But yeah, I mean they got rid of the DC ones a while
Yeah.
back when this kind of switched
You could have
over,
heard it
and
here
then
first on Collector Chatter, where other
Star
people are talking
Wars.
about it a few months down the line. You come back to this episode and we talked about it
Dude,
now.
yeah, what the hell? Yeah, so that's a random one. But yeah, I had to mention that because I just thought that was a little weird. And like I said, even the one that did come out with the blue, like it's just I don't know. They just have not been
No, the
what they
pops in
used to
that
be,
one
and they
are
need to
not,
get
are they're
rid of.
trash.
Yeah, they need to get rid of these damn boxes. But there was some other stuff. There was some Lego news. I wanted to leave that for you because I know you're a little more of the
Yeah.
expert in that,
What
but we do, we talk about all different things, and we do have a pretty big, decent wave of some new Lego sets that are coming out.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. It's the 25th anniversary of Star Wars and Lego. So it's been 25 years of them making, official Star Wars Legos, which is crazy because like
Wow.
I wish when we were, I mean, it's not like we're that old, much older, but like when we were kids, like you didn't have Lego IP sets like they do now. Um, and Star Wars is probably one of their strongest ones. And these ones are definitely probably more aligned for collectors, which it's funny. Lego's a company that does perfectly what Funko wants, probably, is people of all ages like them. They make them for legitimately 2-year-olds, and there are people, senior citizens
Hmm.
in senior homes that are making Legos. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it is like such a great product. But we're getting mini scales of like it seems like classic ones that they've already made before. So like an
Yeah.
R2D2 one it's going to be like kind of, half the size. It's still not like super small, but it is more of like a collectible version too, where it comes with like the little sign that will say like R2D2 on it. And it's kind of more, it is an adult collectible. Not that kids can't make it, but these ones are definitely
Yeah.
geared towards more
Well,
adults.
I was gonna say two of them are seem like a little because that one's 10 plus. So that one seems like it's the kid version. The
They,
other ones are like
but
definitely not.
but they still put that age, I feel like, though, on it. Like even the other ones, if it's a ton of pieces, it's still like, it's not like
Yeah.
they're saying
Well,
like,
the other ones are 18.
oh, they do say 18.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Which
I
that's
take
why
that.
so I guess it's two kind of ranges. So they kind of did come out with something more for like the
Okay.
kids and then like the I mean, 75,000 pieces.
I guess, yeah,
That's
because the
not
other
not
ones
your
are in the
average kid.
premium black
Yeah,
box,
yeah, exactly,
which does
exactly.
show that it is more for adults. We're getting a new Millennium Falcon, which there's been a ton of those, but that's normally like one of the, if you're a Star Wars fan, that's like a grail, and that's like one of the biggest,
Massive, yeah.
massive sets. I mean, it's like $500, I think.
Sheesh.
Um, and then you're getting a few more of like a few more ships from the Star Wars world,
Yeah,
but I mean, you got to be like a big Star Wars fan to like know or want these. It's like the Invisible Hand and the Tantive 4, so they are more niche product, which I think is
hmm,
cool. And then we're getting, I believe one of them is like a scene um with Vader kind of walking in, and you got the troopers, you got some
yeah,
rebels. I mean, that one looks pretty cool too. So I guess you're right. That one is more for a child as well.
yeah.
Or not anyone can build it, but like how you said that, I think it's eight plus.
Yeah,
Um, but so a good wide range, and Star Wars is with Lego, obviously been around for 25 years, so that's a gift that keeps on giving. And I mean, I feel like they'll be making Star Wars Legos until Lego's no longer a thing, which I don't envision that ever happening.
yeah. No, it's definitely something like you go into the Targets of the world and Walmart's places, and like you'll just see like their Lego section, and there's Star Wars is always plastered all over it. Like
Yeah.
whether it's the smaller kid stuff or the hardcore, these 70,000 piece ones, or the face bust ones that they make, and like they've always been like tied to them. So it's kind of cool to see like 25th year, they're doing some type of anniversary thing. And re-releasing some of these, but like you said, in a smaller scale. So, maybe if you couldn't pay that $500, maybe you can pay $300. One of these, like, who knows? I don't know if that's the price, but
No,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
no,
I'm
definitely,
assuming it's
definitely,
still pricey.
yeah, not that cheap. But another thing too that makes them kind of collectible is like just like Funko collectors, like Lego collectors collect for the box as well. So these will have the 25th anniversary on it,
Yeah, they do.
and
And it
they
looks
do.
cool too.
It looks cool. The Lego packaging is always premium, in my opinion. And they also come with like a little 25th anniversary plaque. I mean, I'm sure
Mm,
there's completionists who's like, I need every Millennium Falcon. But I mean, people like investing in Lego is also insane too. Like some people will just buy these and never build them. And the Lego prices, like Lego, unlike Funko these days, actually will retire sets. They will be
yeah,
taken
yeah,
out
that's
of
true.
circulation and they're gone, never to get again at retail. And people pay insane prices on the aftermarket. It's just like such an interesting. I love Lego. I'm just thinking about it. Like I wish I did more Lego. It's just no place to put it. And my kids love Legos too, but we build the sets and then they just get destroyed. So
Yeah,
that
that's
ain't
the
happening.
one thing
Fine.
that, like, if you really want to display it and show it, you need space, you need a case, you need something.
Yeah.
You can't just put them up and take them down so easily. Like, I literally have one set built, and it's the Batman cowl
Oh
from
yeah.
the face, and it's up on like a shelf on the top because, like, when I move it, sometimes pieces come off, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to mess
Yeah.
around with that. But yeah, Lego's definitely cool and fun, and it'll be around forever. So it's cool to see some more exclusive stuff, especially at an anniversary type of stuff. But we'll switch to another collectible because I did want to talk about this. I don't know if we have anything else, but I definitely want to talk about this, and it's Youtooz collectibles, which we've mentioned them before on here. That's a nice vinyl
Yeah.
figure, super cool. I know Charlie, when we did like an exchange for Christmas, Charlie got me one of Jesse Pinkman. I was able to pick up a Ghostface one recently. So definitely love these. Like I want to finish a Breaking Bad set because it's just so sick.
Yeah.
I love the packaging of this. I love the way it comes in a protector. Like it's just such a great, but the molds are always so awesome, super detailed.
And they're
They
like out of the
knock,
box, even for
yeah, they
just
knock out what Funko does with their figures, like
yeah.
hands down. Like no
Yeah.
matter what the show or movie or whatever it is, they just hit it like every time. And we're getting another wave of, so these are currently on Entertainment Earth. You can pre-order them or through the YouTube site. We have three Breaking Bad characters and a Better Call Saul. So we do have like a Saul one where he's like wearing the name tag Gene when he was working at the
Freaking amazing in black and white.
yeah, the black and white one, which that episode most of the time was in black and white. He's got the mustache, the glasses. Like that thing is so sick, and he has the Cinnabons in his hand
Yeah,
because he was working at the
that
mall,
is a
like
must
Cinnabon.
for me. It's
Like
amazing.
it's so amazing. So like that one is definitely sick. And there's three Breaking Bad characters, which are awesome scene and everything. We have the Walt where he's down on his knees crying, handcuffed, which that I think that's the Ozymandias or whatever
Yep.
episode. I can't remember the name of it, but that episode was like ridiculous. And then we got Jesse, like all beat up, crazy looking. I believe this is more towards the end of like Breaking Bad. He's got a gun in his hand. Is when he was just like over it. And then we have a Gus, basically, which this does exist in Funko form currently, which is like his half face burnt off. But like I just love these things. Like this set is like
I
so
agree.
sick. Like along with the other Breaking Bad stuff that they already have, and even some Better Call Saul stuff, a lot of it's hard to find. A couple of them have been sold out that you really got to just get them in the aftermarket. But like this is like such a sick set for like a vinyl. Like this really, I feel like if I had originally gotten into this, I would choose this over Funko, I feel like. And there's not as many. I mean, obviously there's a
No.
lot, but there's not as many where I feel like my collection wouldn't have been as so crazy. I would have been like, yeah, I'm a hardcore Youtooz collector, but I got into this super late. But I don't know what you think about it.
I mean, yeah, I love them. I've always been intrigued by them. We've talked. I have a few. Actually, got a few more for Christmas. I got all of like a bunch of HBO shows, Danny McBride's characters, which like I love those because like for example, one of my favorite shows, Righteous Gemstones. They're never making a Funko from that show. Youtooz does it. Like they kind of just vice principals. They never make it a Funko for that. Youtooz does like they just make more out of the box ideas, even like with these Breaking Bad ones, even though there's tons of Breaking Bad Funko Pops. Like you said, the only one here that's been repeated is the Gus one, but like
Hmm.
that's such an iconic look and scene for Gus. Like it's no shocker that they've made that into a Funko, but like the other ones, and like you get like they know how to make scenes, but they're not overdone. Like Funko needs to make it like a scene type of Funko
Hmm.
Pop.
Hmm.
Like Funko could be doing this. I actually think they should be. It could be maybe their more premium product. But yeah, I mean, they're just amazing. And like I said, I feel like we're gonna be talking more about them because we've gotten more into them.
Yeah.
Which is just super cool.
Yeah, for sure. And if I get any, I'll definitely be showing them off because I'm excited to hopefully start building up that collection. They're a little bit more of a premium price compared to not super expensive, but more
No,
than like a Funko
yeah,
Pop. Obviously, I think like 30, $40 for the most part. But yeah, it's worth it. Like they're such a great product and like the packaging is so sick on all of them. They sometimes they have like little sayings and stuff in the
the
tabs and like
packaging's
they're
unreal.
so good. But very excited for those. I don't know if there's anything else.
There's one more thing.
One
Under
thing you want to talk about?
soft, we got some more dumpster
Oh
fires.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Um, so
100%
these two
soft.
dumpster fires, they were actually first looks at New York Comic Con, but now they were made available to everyone, to the public. And we got the barfing uh
Hmm.
dumpster fire, which is super hilarious. It's legitimately a trash can throwing up, and you can take it's like a magnetic piece where you can take
Yeah,
that
which is
off,
cool.
which is super cool. And then we got the trash panda one, which is like the raccoons. Um, these both of these are awesome in my opinion. Whenever they like come out with these, we kind of I feel like gush about them. Like they're always amazing. Like there's never like one that's like super dull where you're like this is trash.
Yeah,
No
even when
pun
it's just like
intended.
a even when it's just like just a regular color. Sometimes they'll come out with one that's just like a certain color or something, but it's just like it just hits. It looks so cool,
They're so
and there's
cool.
usually a small detail or something on it that would kind of make it even like more like awesome to look at. But yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of those dumpster fires. I missed out on that trash panda one, which I'm super upset. But it does say it's going to restock.
Oh, it does.
And
Then you'll
yeah,
be
it did
good.
say that. So hopefully I'll catch it on the restock. But yeah, but that was definitely sick. And I'm glad that we talked about, a few different things. So you guys, obviously some Funko stuff, but other than Funko, you pretty much know we like talking about, Mischief Toys and now Youtooz, and we have talked about 100 Soft as well and
Yeah.
their dumpster fires in the past. But we'll keep talking about stuff like that. If you guys have other collectibles that you're fans of, let us know. Definitely comment in our, if you're on YouTube, if you're listening, Thank you guys for listening. Head over to YouTube and check us out so you can see, some visual stuff, and you're able to comment there a little easier than how like the podcast stuff is. And you can let us know anything about today's episode that you're excited for, or your thoughts on, any other drama or any craziness and NFTs, definitely let us know. But we're excited for, what's to come for next week. And, Charlie will let you guys know where you can follow us and all the socials and all that kind of stuff, which we really appreciate everybody for supporting us. Definitely make sure you guys are liking and subscribing on this one, though, if you are on YouTube for sure. But yeah, Charlie, you can let them know
Yes, we
where to
definitely
catch
need
us.
those likes. We need those subscriptions. And like we said, hit that notification bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And please, please, please comment. Let us know out of all the collectibles that we talked about in this episode, what do you collect? What do you want to collect now, maybe after hearing us talk about it? And like let us know of any other collectibles that maybe we should be talking about. Because we want to, as you see, broaden our horizons. And then obviously you can follow us over at Instagram at Collector Chatter. And then you can follow Migs at pop_Migs, and then me at collector_Charlie. And once again, everyone, have a great week. Collecting is the way. Later, everyone.
Bye, everybody.